Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you're tuning into the Esports World Cup Central broadcast from. The next in our special set of interviews are a couple of the most renowned, most successful, most accomplished, competitive, and content creators in Call of Duty. These are names that you may have heard, but you truly do not understand the scope and the scale of the impact that they have had on the esports landscape, and in particular, the Call of Duty ecosystem. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Hecz and Scump to the broadcast. Gentlemen,
hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck doing Esports Awards, gentlemen.
I got to say really quick, that was quite the introduction.
Thank you.
We're not that cool. We're not that cool.
Yes, we are.
Well, yes, I was going to say.
I keep it on.
Just moments before we went live, I introduced myself to Hecz and Scump, and I actually explicitly said to Hecz that I'm a big fan. The reason I did that is because I despise Scump and your success. Multiple titles under your name, World Cups, Championship. The way you play, it sickens me. Not to disrespect Hecz. Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you.
Now, gentlemen, I mentioned this just a second ago, but for this weekend, we've got ESL R1, we've got PUBG, Rocket League, Tekken 8. We had Call of Duty, we had Warzone early in the tournament, and we had Modern Warfare 3. Could I ask you guys to introduce yourselves to some of these other communities, tell them a little bit about your backstory, and maybe what is your proudest accomplishment?
My name is Hector Rodriguez, founder of Optic Gaming. My proudest accomplishment is to be able to witness people like Scump, specifically Scump, accomplish what he's accomplished in the competitive setting.
Scump?
Yeah, my name is Hecz Scump Abner. I'm a 31-time Call of Duty champion.
Woo!
My biggest
Yes.
accomplishment, definitely the Call of Duty World Championship. But yeah, I'm just excited to be here at EWC and excited to be on the show.
And if I can just build this for one brief moment, I made my name in Call of Duty PC, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, the original one. I played Pro Mod.
Name?
I got to compete. My nickname's Quickshot. You would never have heard of me. I competed 2 international lands from South Africa. I was born and raised there. Got to attend DreamHack and Antwerp Esports Festival back in 2006 and 2008.
That's
now,
awesome.
The reason that I look up to Hecz, the fact that you start an organization, you've left a mark, you create a brand like Optic. Give me a brief second on what that means, and the green wall, the international appeal, and then obviously having monsters like Scump as well around. What's that like?
Well, I think I owe it all to everybody else. I think my best feature, or the best thing that I was good at, is to sort of guide people into achieving their dreams. But Optic wouldn't be, the green wall wouldn't be without people like Scump, without people like my wife, Jude, who was my #1 investor. And I think that for me, finding something so late in life, and I mean late because I was already 29 years old, I was working a full-time job, I had a kid, and then this YouTube thing happens, with Call of Duty happens. It's been a blessing every single step of the way. And since then, I don't think I've considered any of this work any single step of the way, because it's been so fulfilling to be able to call something your own with your friends. It's nothing better.
Now, this is why I sit on the old man side of the sofa, Scump, when we look at you at 30 years
I'm
old,
getting
29.
there.
Okay, you're
29.
29 years old.
Now I'm
and
isolated
all the
over here.
titles. I will say this. How did it feel watching FaZe win last week?
I mean,
With a question like that.
There we go. Now we're trying to line in the sand.
With
Okay.
a question
all
like
right, so
that.
we got some softballs to start. Now here come the hard-hitting questions.
I get one opportunity to speak to Hecz and Scump together. I'm taking my shot.
Of course. I mean, it was an amazing event to watch. So in the CDL era of Call of Duty, we've kind of strayed away from that group stage into a bracket stage. So it was just amazing to see some international competition. We got to see the Falcons come in, and they put on a show. So it was an amazing event overall. Obviously, it sucked to watch FaZe win, watch them hoist the trophy. But those guys are very, very good players. They've been very, very good players. It was overall a fun event to watch. We kind of went through our season for the COD team. I'm retired now. I'm not on the COD team, for anyone that doesn't know.
Thank goodness for the rest of the competition.
Yeah, thank you. But we won 2 events. We won Major 3, and then we won the Call of Duty World Championship, which is the ring. So everyone, it's the coveted event in Call of Duty. So the way one of our players, Dashy, described it, we got the sundae, which was Major 3. We got the cherry on top, which was the Call of Duty champs. And then this would have been the chocolate drizzle to win the Esports World Cup trophy. But it just wasn't meant to be. FaZe came out, they played well. And they needed that win as well because they were kind of disappointed in their placement at champs.
I will say this, as hard as it will be to believe in retrospect, I wanted Optic to win. I've never been a lover of FaZe as far as allegiances go.
Oh, it's okay.
It was green all the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But as the host of the main central broadcast and whatnot, it was a great story to tell as someone that's not as close to the community anymore. Right, I need to turn this away and actually talk about why you're actually here. I just have a deep, deep love for Call of Duty. Let's talk about Esports Awards. Obviously, the two of you have been synonymous, have been around, have been involved, especially Hecz and representatives from Optic. Have you guys hosted before? You're going to be next to Puckett, one of the legendary voices in all broadcasting, but in particular, Call of Duty.
You really get to see the level of skill that Puckett has at the table read, right?
Yes.
Because we've hosted our own stuff to our, to the green wall. So yeah, it's very natural, and the sentiment is there. The love back and forth is there. But when we were sitting at the table read, and I read my lines, here comes in Puckett with this like super energy that he has. So is
it daunting?
No.
We've been good friends with Puckett forever, so we've seen him in that mode. And again, we've done so much just not really hosting work, but just work.
You've created content around it, right?
Of course.
But I think there is a different feeling when it's your stuff for your community on your plans.
Of course.
And now you're stepping into Riyadh, the World Cup, the Esports Awards, international viewership. For me in particular, Puckett has got a close spot in my heart. He actually hired me for my first big League of Legends event back when MLG was doing League of Legends events in 2012. So love the man dearly. Let's talk about the shows. What are the categories? What are the names? Give me a little bit of promo that can entice our viewers to come and tune in tomorrow night.
Well, let me just first talk about the first hosting gig. I'm a little bit nervous, I can't lie. I'm the reporter, so I'm going to be like out in the crowd a little bit. He's going to be more so like on the stage. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I actually have been to really the first Esports Awards in 2016. I won Esports Controller Player of the Year, which was super awesome. So we've been like around the Esports Awards quite a bit. But what's my favorite award that's going to be going out tomorrow? I mean, the big ones: Streamer of the Year, Content Org of the Year. I mean, all the big ones towards. Well, I don't want to give away the order of the awards.
No, don't do that. Do you have any candidates you'd be willing to say you have a preference on?
I do.
Well, myself.
Yes.
Myself.
Yeah, Seth. I wanted Seth to win.
I'm in for Esports Personality of the Year. I'm against some tough competition in that one. I think Tarek's in there. Ibai's in there. A bunch of other just amazing talent. So I'm in that one.
I'm voting for, I think it's Streamer of the Year or Content of the Year, Kadril, League of Legends co-streamer. He's one of my boys and one of the guys I love. So bring out the Rat Army.
A lot of co-streamers are in there, and I've actually been doing a co-stream with Call of Duty. So it's crazy because Tarek, obviously huge in the Valorant space. I mean, there's just so much talent in that category. It's pretty daunting. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I win. It'd be kind of cool to host and win. I don't know.
Now, Hecz, question for you when we zoom out a little bit. As somebody that's been around the industry for a long time now, right? And really seen it grow from you just playing games for fun to then being a career to then being a literal multi-million-dollar industry, billions even. What is it like when you look at the awards? And if you reflect on your journey, to know you're now going to be handing awards to not only potential players and members of your organization, but just the wider industry.
Well, look, I think we want to thank the Esports Awards. Like he mentioned, we've been there since 2016. I myself have won a couple. Have the Halftime Achievement Award, and I have Esports Podcast of the Year or Show of the Year with my podcast Eavesdrop. Look, I think that the community has grown so quickly and it's gotten to this place, and we sort of all had this idea that it could get there because we've seen sports, we've seen entertainment as it is. So for us, it was sort of just hanging in there and doing everything that was going to be something that helped the community grow and doing our part. So that's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to interrupt. We just need to grab this little prop for near the end of our interview.
Yeah.
Hecz, when we now zoom out and talk about EWC, the fact that Esports Awards is right next to it.
Yes.
And this will be same for Scump as well. Call of Duty sitting side by side with Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, PUBG, FC, R1. For me, that's special because it has always felt like Call of Duty has been predominantly a North American title and game, especially since the proliferation of console. Now seeing it traveling over here and seeing it side by side, how does that feel when you look at that? And then to know we got the awards on top of it as well.
Well, look, I think Call of Duty is a game that I'll always be in love with. It was the thing that changed my life with my own efforts and my teammates' efforts. So, to see Call of Duty sort of nominated up there, I think it's a dream come true. You being a big fan of Call of Duty, I mean, Pro Mod, I'm a huge fan from those days. Yeah, look, I think it is something that we're blessed to be a part of. I'm glad that we were able to do our part in getting Call of Duty to a place in which it can be nominated, it can be included in the Esports World Cup. We just had a 7,000 seat arena filled to the brim.
Yeah.
We hosted in front of 176,000 people during our watch party. So again, we will continue to do our part for as long as, I know I'm committed to this for as long as I'm alive. It's my passion. And I know what the other side of this thing looks like. So yeah, very proud of the work that we've accomplished.
Scump, somebody that's kind of grown up and just to be fair, we're talking nearly a decade difference in age between you and I. How has it been now as a younger viewer, younger participant, all the success you have, and then to see it on a stage like this?
Yeah, so I'm kind of blessed in that aspect that I kind of came up, not at the start of esports, because there were definitely a lot of stars coming up, before, well, my generation. I feel like there's a whole generation before me. But it's insane to see. I mean, back in the day, I was lucky to be playing for $2,500 for first place per person. Now you're looking at, hundreds and hundreds of $1,000 prize pools, international recognition for some of these esports, huge, glorious stages that these players get to play on. So it's really just been a treat to see it evolve and really have a front row seat, because now my content is based largely around esports in general. And playing my own games, of course. I'm still all right on the sticks.
Still has it.
I'm still all right.
The reason that I have some animosity to your players, I'm a mouse and keyboard player. Once Call of Duty became console and players like you took over, my old fingers just couldn't keep up, man.
Hey, I'm good on Valorant. I'm good on Valorant. CS.
Counter-Strike, Salamander, man.
Listen, honestly, hand-eye coordination, decision-making, reaction speed. I just have one last quick question. I've been told by Rocket League players and Rocket League professionals that it's the hardest esport that exists. How do we feel about that?
I'll speak on this one because I know he's never played it.
I've never played it, but I've been told.
I know he's never played it. I've played Rocket League personally. I've put probably 5 to 10 hours in, not very much time.
That's very light.
But it's just so different from like an FPS.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to Call of Duty, but on Rocket League, it's almost like I play on controller on Rocket League as well, but it feels inverted, the joystick. So I'm sitting there, I'm a Roomba. That's what I like to say. I know it's a common word.
I love that line so much.
It's a common word in the Rocket League community. I'm on the floor. I try to go up on the walls, but when I try to jump off, I always mess up and nothing good happens.
I'm losing this argument, Gibbs. I'm losing this argument.
Nothing good happens.
I'm trying to tell Rocket League that StarCraft is a harder game, but you know what?
I played StarCraft too.
So what do you say?
StarCraft's hard too, but it's so...
Okay. I need a one-word answer. Which is harder, StarCraft or Rocket League?
Ooh, StarCraft.
Yes! Thank you. We're done. The interview's over.
For me.
Thank you. No, I apologize. I'm having a lot of fun. We basically, our podcast for EWC here, we just talk about all the games and have an ongoing debate. So, Hecz Scump, thank you so much for joining me. This genuinely is one of my favorite interviews. I'm a huge fan of both of your work. Thank you for loving Call of Duty. What time does the show start tomorrow?
3 p.m.
3 p.m., right? For
3 p.m. this time. 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. this time.
Okay, damn it.
It is, dude.
I put them on the spot. I put Michael. That's my bad.
I thought it was 3.
It's 7:30 a.m. where we're from. We're still a little bit jet lagged.
local.
Day number 2.
8 local. 8 p.m. Let's
got the time
Let's try this again. We'll cut that bit out. Esports Awards, Saturday 24th of August starts at
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
That's it. Okay, we're going to head out. Guys, I'm going to ask you to sign this on the way out.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you, producers, for letting me run that one along. As we move on to a quick update on ESL R1, as well as Tekken 8 introductions, Justin caught up with his fellow analyst, Amajid Obama, yesterday in the ALJ interview.